but right now, clear skies, ready for baseball. Athletics Royals coming up. Game 3 of the 4-game set, and Game Time weather is brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. See some clouds off in the distance from Kauffman Stadium. 82 right now. That humidity's kicked it up a notch. 64%. I'll tell you what, last night we got to the hotel after the game and there were some wild thunderstorms.
Yeah, it was absolutely booming. You had a light show going on with the lightning as well. Jenny, I thought I was in one of those storm simulators, but a beautiful line of sight as well if you got to peek out and check it all out.
Yeah, very true. Nice rainy morning has turned into a beautiful evening here, and hopefully that rain will stay away. Starting lineups for tonight are brought to you by your Sacramento area Chevrolet dealers. Henry Bolte will lead it off for the Athletics. Jeff McNeil's hitting second, then it's Zach Geloff, Lawrence Butler, Tommy White. Carlos Cortez will be the DH. Jonah Heim, Donovan Moulton, and Max Muncy at the bottom of the order.
And it's going to be veteran right-hander in his third year with the Kansas City Royals, Seth Lugo on the mound. 26th start of the season, knocking on the door of 140 innings under the belt of the veteran right-hander. And I think Seth Lugo has seen some of his better production come in a Kansas City Royal uniform. We'll break that down a little later, but squaring off an A's lineup tonight who looking for a little get back after the way last night's ball game ended.
It did not end well in the 9th inning. Athletics had the lead for the whole game. And unfortunately, the 3 runs scored by the Royals, they walked off the Athletics, and they have won the first 2 games of the series. We may be leading in delays, though, here between PitchCom and masks.
Yeah, we've had a few bad Wi-Fi connections. We've had some equipment issues, but locked and loaded, ready to play some ball.
Seth Lugo fires off the first pitch to Henry Bolte, misses inside, and Bolte ahead in the count. Henry led off the game yesterday and went 1 for 4 with an infield hit. Grounds this and through the hole on the right side. A base hit for Bolte. And the leadoff hitter getting his job done, setting the table with Jeff McNeil coming up. Here's a look at the Royals defense here tonight. Jensen's doing the catching for the 3rd straight game. Benny Pasquantino at first, Nick Lofton at second. Gold Gloves on the left side to join the pitcher who has a Gold Glove, Bobby Witt Jr. and Michael Garcia. And then it's Tolbert, Isbell, and Caglione left to right in the Royals outfield. And there's Matt Quatraro in his 4th season at the helm for the Royals. And they try to pick over.
Ooh, and
close one.
Pasquantino immediately pointed in the dugout and said, take a peek. And 2 things to consider here. One, Bolte trying to get back to the outfield side of the bag. The left-handed throwing first baseman in Pasquantino trying to get the swipe tag down in time. Looks like they're going to opt not to challenge. Very close play early here to start the ball game, and that may factor into it. I feel like you got a lot of meat on this bone in the ball game.
Right, just 2 pitches into the game, and
yeah,
a close call there. That'd be a tough one to lose your manager's challenge. Pitch outside to McNeil. Talked about Jeffrey in the open swing, and a hot stick right now.
He sure is. I mean, I know we kind of set that bar at the halfway point. A little over the halfway.
And why not a hit to follow it up? Bolte and his speed will head to third. This is out to center field. This is going to get waved home. Here comes a throw from Isbell in, and it will be cut off. First to home as Jeff McNeil drives in the Athletics leading run 1-0.
How about that? Back-to-back knocks for the green and gold to start the ball game here. Oh, Hank doing a good job of getting on base in that leadoff spot, and then the man who's been swinging the hottest bat on the club since the All-Star break, as we mentioned, able to pick a gap here. And you take a look at where Isbell was shaded. That's that left center gap. Caglione a little farther over towards right field, and that was a perfect recipe.
Pitch in for a strike against Zach Geloff.
And Bolte off to the races here. You see him kind of pull up a bit. Not quite sure whether or not he was going to be held or sent. Third base coach Bobby Crosby said, come on down.
1-1's the count for Geloff.
Well, Jenny, the A's were able to push a run across in the first inning in last night's affair.
Also did it to open when Jeff McNeil had the leadoff homer. So you think about having the lead in a game, wanting to keep the lead in the game. That has been the trouble for the Athletics. Last 27 games, they've had the lead in 20 of those, but they are just 7-13 over those 20. Last night, one of those examples, and threw for Geloff. Second to home, McNeil coming in, and it has been 3 consecutive hits. 2 runs have scored. We're just 3 batters into the game. 2-0 A's.
Loving every minute of it. And Jenny, these baseballs are finding the perfect space out there in the outfield. Ball hit hard off the bat of Geloff. But again, you see where Isbell shaded towards that right center gap. So going to take him a while to get over to the baseball. You can see where Tolbert was positioned. Gave McNeil all the time he needed to get around and score.
Lawrence Butler with a 1-0 count.
Love to see this start right now from the Athletic offense. See those numbers for Lawrence Butler. I think it has been a steady climb up the mountain. You know, we talk so much about Jeff McNeil and what he's done. I think for the veteran, having a guy like Lawrence Butler as a young player, being able to take note of how the veteran has just kept his head down and go to work has helped.
2-1's the count for Lawrence now. You just saw Alex Tosi calling balls and strikes. Remember, he was at first base last night when the check swing came around, and he decided that Tyler Tolbert held up. The results of that, not good. Royals came back, scored 3, ended up walking off the Athletics. Marcotte was ejected in that 9th inning. So I have a feeling we could maybe hear some chirping out of that dugout today.
Well,
but let the bats do the talking early.
There we go.
Two and two's the count for Butler. Here's the pitch from Lugo, and it'll be full.
You see PitchCom on the right hip there of Seth Lugo. He's the one leading the dance.
Taken off is Geloff, a swing and a miss, throw down, and it gets by Bobby Witt. So Lawrence makes the first out. Geloff into scoring position. Tommy White coming up.
Well, we'll take a look at some of the tendencies of the man behind the plate. Alex Tosi tonight. Last night's ejection of Marcotte, his 8th career ejection since his debut in 2019. And that's for Tosi. Generous at the bottom of the zone, has only been overturned on 46.7% of the challenges. Tosi does a pretty good job discerning balls and strikes.
Tommy takes a strike off the sweeper. One of the many pitches that Seth Lugo has in his arsenal.
And, you know, balls and strikes behind home plate, a little different than balls and strikes on the corners, whether that be as a first base umpire, third base umpire.
Ground ball, Michael Garcia over to first, 2 gone, as Zach Geloff has moved up 90 feet to third.
And the check swing, folks, is what we're talking about. Did he go? Yes, he did. Check down. Can we confirm? You missed it. You missed it. Sir, I'd like for you to reevaluate. If you could go back and look at some video after the ball game, it'd be greatly appreciated. I think you are wrong. I think you very well may have put us in a very tough position to win this ball game here. And, well, I think that was the case, Jenny.
Certainly was. Marcotte ejected there, and he went back and looked at the video himself, could confirm.
Well, I think everybody, you know, it's one thing to feel strongly about it in the moment, which you can understand both teams doing. But that perfect side shot from the crew, I mean, that gives you all the insight you need. You see that barrel clear the plate, and oh, man.
1-1's the count for Carlos Cortez as the DH tonight in the lineup. Into left field, and the catch will be made by Tolbert. 3 hits, 2 runs. A's off and running against Seth Lugo. Relay dealers. Nick Lofton will lead it off, followed by Bobby Witt Jr., Jack Caglione, Garcia, Pasquantino, Perez, Jensen, Tolbert, and Isbell.
And Jenny, maybe a little spring in the step of the rotation with Jeffrey Springs back in action. Spent some time recovering from some lower half issues. 23rd start of the season for the left-hander, and we talked a lot about just wanting to finish the season on a high note.
First pitch, in for a strike. Get a good start for Springs. Back for the first time since the end of July.
And I think that high note can consist of a couple different things. Whether it's wanting to perform well, looks like pitch calm. Not doing well again. Nope, looks like we're good to go. But whether it's, just trying to put some work in to make you feel better about how you performed at the end of the season, or being healthy. I think a perfect marriage is a combination of the two. I finished strong health-wise, and the numbers can reflect that. It's an ideal place to be.
The 1-1 to Lofton, fouled back. Jeffrey, some familiarity with this lineup. He's faced Lofton 4 times coming in to this plate appearance. 0 for 4 is the second baseman. Lifts it in the air, out to left. Coming in will be Geloff, and he will make the catch. Good to see Geloff out in the outfield. He's been penciled in there the last couple of nights, and last minute they've had to move him to the DH spot. So Geloff in left, Bolte in center, Butler in right. On the infield, it's Max Muncy at the hot corner, Walton at short, McNeil joins him up the middle at second, Tommy White at first, and Jonah Heim catching Jeffrey Springs. Look at Marcotte. Has the Athletics winners of 2 of their last 3 series. Still a chance to split here against these Royals in a 4-game set.
Hope we get to hang out with Kotz for all 27 outs tonight.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We got most of the outs last night. Bobby Witt Jr. He has done some damage against the Athletics in this series, mostly on Monday night in the opener. Went 3 for 4 with a homer. Drove in 3, drove in another run yesterday, and that was the winning run. 3rd career walk-off for Bobby Witt.
Well, it feels like he's already had some signature moments in his career and is destined for quite a few more.
Here's the 3-0, taking all the way. It'll be a 3-1 count for Witt. Called strike, full count.
I think Bobby Witt Jr., one of those rare types that has the your favorite player's favorite player characteristic about him.
Totally. There's the payoff from Springs. High in the air to center. Shallow. The Bolte has to come in a long way, and he makes the catch. Pretty big run for Bolte. 2 gone.
Take you back to last night. That was the last pitch of the ball game. Good fastball from Alvarado. Chasing the shortstop in off the plate, but Bobby Witt Jr. not only quick but strong with the bat in his hand, able to fight it off and send the Royals home winners last night in a game that you felt like was all but taken care of. Well, until it wasn't.
Pitch outside to Jack Caglione. Yeah, the Royals have been playing a better brand of baseball over the last week. They won a series out on the road. They hadn't done that in a couple of months. Took a 3-game set from the Angels in Anaheim. 1 hopper, and on the right side, Donovan picks it up, but off the bag comes Tommy White. Valiant effort by the man playing short tonight.
Yeah, good job arranging over and coming up with the scoop. Unfortunately, the throw on the back end. Jenny is going to take Tommy White off the bag here. So it's one thing to be able to get to it, and I think Walton will tell you himself, yeah, got to be better on the throw there. I mean, Caglione hustling down the line, remember, coming out of the box from the left side.
Infield single for Caglione. Garcia up, and he'll take a first pitch strike.
And it's now the 17th straight game having reached base safely for Caglione.
Yeah, he's been one of the hottest players in the month of August. Bounces in, 1-1.
Well, how about that? And during that time, Jenny, you know, it's not just a matter of putting the peepers on him, as I like to say, with plate discipline, walking. He swung his way on base. 438 average. He's done some damage, 5 homers over that stretch.
Garcia, dribbler back to Springs, and Jeffrey will field his position. 1 hit and 1 left on. We'll move to the second. A's up 2-0. Bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile, and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity, imagine that. Top of the second and the bottom of the order for the Athletics, starting with Jonah Heim. After the switch hitter, it'll be the left-handed hitter Donovan Walton and the right-handed hitter Max Muncy. 1-1's the count. And Seth Lugo gets back to work. Gave up 3 consecutive hits to open up the game. A's cashed in for their 2 runs. We talked about the pitch comm, controlled by the man on the mound. 385 career games for Seth Lugo coming in.
I mentioned the career year for Seth Lugo. That was
ground ball right back to Lugo. And I'll just let you handle that, partner.
Well, that's a veteran athlete out there on the mound for you folks. We're going to take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Stick with me now. Sinker, cutter, four-seam fastball, curveball, sweeper, slider, changeup, slow curve, slurve. That's right. Probably throw you a knuckleball if you asked him to. I mean, this is shades of Satchel Paige's arsenal.
That's right. Learned a lot about Satchel Paige's arsenal today.
Sure did. Quite a bevy of offerings.
In the air to center, Isbell with the catch, and Donovan Walton makes the second out.
I mean,
he's
10 different pitches, Jenny.
Last year, 10 pitches. So he, decided to shave one off. We'll just go with 9. It's getting too complicated, right?
Yeah, and I can appreciate the deep arsenal, if you will. I've talked about how, maybe 12% is where I draw the line.
Max Muncy right back to the pitcher. My goodness. He's a Gold Glover. Is flashing the leather.
Well, Athletics fans, you can vote for the River City Chicken Sandwich. That's right, fill in your Ballpark Bites bracket for a chance to win tickets to try these bites in stadium. Vote at MLB.com/bracket. Oh, see the smoke ring there? You appreciate that tenderness? I wouldn't have mind seeing a little flaw.
You can smell it.
Oh, God. I could taste that burn in on the back over there.
1-0 count for Vinny Pasquantino. Make it 2-0. It was a quick 1-2-3 in the top of the second for Seth Lugo. Just 8 pitches, and he did a lot of the defensive work himself. Jeffrey Springs faced 4 batters in the first, allowed just an infield hit. Now trying to keep Pasquantino off the base path. Three balls, no strikes. And the pitch catches the zone. How many espressos do you think Vinny Pasquantino consumed as the Pasquatch is creeping through the crack in the door right now? It will be a walk.
What a visual. You ever...
Oh, he'll come out for a walk. There you go.
You ever
oh,
just
yeah.
feel like someone's watching you? You know what? I feel like if Vinny Pasquantino gets a check swing call that goes his way, they should get the Sasquatch. Anything we can do to get that guy on a stroll.
Leadoff walk from Springs. That's something, Dallas, when you talk about where Jeffrey's at in his career, healthy, getting back. He did issue 11 walks in that month of July through the 4 outings that he had.
Well, and when you just don't physically feel right, you're battling, right? And there's a lot of things that start to creep into your brain before you've even let the baseball go that can affect you mechanically.
Salvador Perez in the air to left, and Geloff will be there to catch the fly ball. 1 gone. Let's take a look at Jeffrey. Things started well. 3-0 record through those first 4.
He was fantastic. I mean, I think he came out of the gate, kind of set the bar for expectations in terms of the rotation himself. And I think it's clearly just been a little different road over the latter chunk of his outings. But again, I think while it's not a full and complete reason behind the numbers looking the way they do, when you're not healthy, it's tough to repeat. It's tough to go out there and repeat physically and put yourself in the same positions to execute, and things can suffer because of it.
That's what Mark Kotze was really kind of trying to emphasize today in his pregame presser with the media, and just saying, Jeffrey's healthy, that's the biggest thing.
Yes.
Now what can you do? Go out there for the next couple of weeks. If he can go every 5th day, you might get 6 more starts in.
Yeah, and I think, also, Jenny, something to just remember, Jeffrey Springs, fly ball pitcher.
Yes.
And actually experiencing the highest fly ball rate of his career this season. But when you understand where he calls home and that ballpark and how it plays, on top of not feeling physically like you're yourself, and you can go out there and you're 100%, and again, walking the line between ever being 100% and just trying to go out and execute is what starting pitching is really all about. Is Jensen gonna spit on ball 4 here?
First and second, both men have reached via base on balls. Tyler Tolbert provided some big heroics in the 9th inning yesterday up against Springs. You see the batting average this year for Tolbert. He's been a contributor. Off the bench, .312 is what he's hitting.
Well, Tolbert last night, Jenny, got an extra swing. The one before this didn't count. It bought him another pitch. That one did count. That would extend the inning, extend the ball game. That would turn the lineup over, where Bobby Witt would eventually come up and deliver a game-winning knock for the Royals. But it started with Tolbert being able to find his way on base, driving a run across himself.
Yeah, driven 2 tied the game. That was against Hogan Harris, who had come in the 8th inning, was looking for a 4-out save. In the air to center, Bolte will be there to make the catch, and runners stay at first and second. 2 gone. And the 9-hole hitter, Kyle Isbell, on his way to the plate. But ultimately in the 9th, they had to pull Hogan, bring in Elvis Alvarado. It was already a bullpen type day with Brady Basso doing the opening. So we had a lot of arms used in game 2. We'll see what that brings for matchups later in this game. The A's are on the plus side of things. Here's the 0-1. Left it in the air to left. Going foul. On it is Geloff, and Geloff's just going to run out of room. An 0-2 count against Isbell as Jeffrey Springs trying to get out of his own jam. And the pitch swung on in the air to shortstop where Walton will make the catch. 2 left on. We'll go to the 3rd. For 49ers news, trending stories, and exclusive interviews, check out the 49ers Talk podcast hosted by Matt Mayoko and Jennifer Lee Chan, presented by Big O Tire. Back at Kauffman Stadium, Seth Lugo back to the top of the order. 1-0 count for Henry Bolte, who led off the game with a single. Scored a run when Jeff McNeil drove him in. I was just waiting for you. Just let you get your words in. First base umpire Corey Blazer said that Bolte went around. Ground ball to third. Michael Garcia to his left, and the throw to first.
Well, can we just take a minute? If you need to at home, folks, cover up the logo on Lugo's hat and the uniform and just respect the athleticism on display here. Throwing a little leather. Got it. I mean, and about as ho-hum, nonchalant, thank you, celebrate me. And does he even have a heartbeat out there right now?
In the second inning, it didn't really feel like it, did it?
It did not. Just cool, calm, collected, snagging liners and comebackers.
Top of this A's order got to him in that first, so probably a heartbeat then. Bit of frustration after giving up 3 hits and 2 runs, but he settled in. He's retired 7 straight. McNeil to center, and Isbell will make the catch. 2 gone.
But you know what? Another well-struck ball for Jeff McNeil. And Jenny, to your point about Lugo settling in, this is somebody who's done a nice job of being consistent. You know, I think if you're Matt Quatraro, what you want to be able to do is account for how outings are going to go for the most part. Now, you can't predict baseball. It's tough. On any given day, a guy can show up and have a career day at the plate or on the mound. But Lugo, 14 different times, gone out there and posted a quality start. It's the 5th most in the American League this year.
Swing and a miss for Geloff, down 0-2. Geloff probably didn't need an alarm this morning. One of those matchups he was rearing to get to the ballpark for. Got that hit in the first. And he's now 5 for 10 against Lugo in his career. That's going to be strike 3. Lugo wins that battle on that slow curveball. Second strikeout for Seth Lugo.
Fans, you can celebrate the vibrant culture, music, and food of Taiwan this Tuesday. That's August 25th. A's are going to take on the Twins. You should bring out the whole family, all your friends. We're going to have a special pregame performance, unique cultural celebrations, and an exclusive co-branded t-shirt with your theme ticket package available just for you. So secure your tickets right now at athletics.com/themegames.
Jeffrey Springs, a 1-0 count against Nick Lofton, the leadoff hitter. Springs 1 time through the order. He's allowed 3 base runners, 2 via a walk, and an infield hit. 3-0. Today marks the first start for Jeffrey since July 31st. Coming off the injured list, he did have a rehab appearance in Stockton with the Ports on August 14th, so 5 days ago. And the pitch will miss. So 4 straight balls to the leadoff hitter here in the 3rd inning. 3rd walk from Springs, and now 3rd straight inning with traffic. And this is that tough part of the lineup, starting with Bobby Witt. You get Witt, Caglione, Garcia, and Pasquantino. And those 4 haven't really played a ton of baseball games together for the Royals this year.
Yeah, I think that's probably been one of the contributing factors to the Royals just not quite having the season they'd like to collectively.
See what Bobby's done in the month of August. 340. Some extra base hits, including a couple of homers as they check over on Lofton. Well, you think of those 4, and the last 2 games, that combination has hit .455 against the A's. 15 hits from those 4. And add in the one Caglione had in the first, that's now 16 hits over the 3 games.
And what does that tell you? Well, I think the same thing that any fan thinks about their team and their core players is, if and when healthy together at the same time, you like your chances of winning ball games.
Certainly do, and that's something I think a lot of A's fans had to look forward to here in 2026. Unfortunately, the injuries started to unravel that core and that production. So you didn't see the big guys on the field at the same time, especially after the end of June. Ground ball, softly hit to Tommy White at first. He'll step on the bag. Lofton into scoring position, 1 gone.
You know, and that's what Jeffrey Springs does very well, especially when healthy. You make a very, very good, a perennial all-star talent like Bobby Witt Jr. Off balance, you make him look like he's kind of in between pitches, right? Out on that front foot, just a little dribbler to the right side.
And here's the left-handed hitter, Caglione. Did he go? He did. Andy Fletcher in 3rd. Calls it a strike. Talk about hot hitters. Well, Caglione right at the top of the list, tied with Chandler Simpson of the Tampa Bay Rays, who was just in West Sacramento. .429 are both their batting averages entering today. That'll go to the backstop. It'll actually hit Caglione. A hit by pitch. Make first and second.
Well, something about pitching in this environment, Jenny, and in this weather, is Cag's going to sew one onto the rib cage there. And you can see Jeffrey Springs shake his arm out. And that's because you get the sweat, right? In this humidity, I mean, you can see the shade of gray of the jersey of Jeffrey Springs. A little different shade than the pants of Jeffrey Springs. And that's because that jersey is soaking wet right now.
First pitch to Michael Garcia, and it misses low.
But think when you're just standing there amidst the humidity, if you were to just stand there for a while in the sun, what happens is that sweat starts to drip down. It starts dripping to your palm, and now it becomes tough to gather a consistent grip on the baseball without having to go to the rosin bag consistently.
2-0 count. I get to think, for the kid from Belmont, North Carolina, that's probably something Jeffrey Springs grew up with a lot.
Yep.
Went to college at Appalachian State. Lofton the lead runner, Caglione at first, and a 3-0 count.
Well, go back to the beginning of the season into the month of April. Garcia able to just sneak one out of there, and that's back to my point about being a fly ball pitcher in the ballpark that you call home. Now that can be very, very tough to contend with at times, because there's a good chance that That ball, if it were hit tonight, Zach Geloff would be able to settle up underneath comfortably.
Ground ball to third, race to the bag, Muncy steps on it, and the bounce throw over to first, double play, and Jeffrey Springs once again, a Houdiniac to get out of the traffic that he caused.
Well, how about Max Muncy, the wherewithal to run over, step on the bag, little bounce pass over to Tommy White, roll it up.
Top of the fourth, A's have a 2-0 lead over the Royals. It's the middle of the order, starting with Lawrence Butler. Fouls back the first offering from Lugo. Seth Lugo has retired 9 straight batters after giving up 3 hits in the runs early in this ball game. Lawrence, one of the 2 strikeouts that Lugo has. And hits this hard into center field. It'll get down for a base hit. Lawrence on with a leadoff single.
Fight him off, Law Dog. Atta babe. Pitch that looks like it started to crowd Lawrence, and he's able to just muscle it out, get it over the head of Bobby Witt Jr. Can't elevate that high.
Tommy White up for the second time. Had a ground out in the first inning. But for Tommy, you're starting to see the development of the power come along. And a guy that I think's been tasked by some of the coaching staff to drive the ball a little more in the air here. In these last couple months, Lawrence picked off at first, couldn't get back in time.
And Jenny, what this is Seth Lugo just doing an outstanding job of timing up the lead here. You know, and I think that's just a combination of doing the homework and having a feel. Veteran able to kind of peek over that shoulder. You can feel the runner start to creep, and then a bigger extended lead coming at the very end. You know, base runners will do that. They get out, and whether they realize it or not, they're creatures of habit when it comes to getting their lead and getting space, creating space, if you will. And if you pay attention to it, you can start to time them up. And you see what happens is Lawrence just gets out on that right foot, almost right before that right foot gets down. Lugo sees it, feels it, spins, throws. And the idea is the base runner still isn't quite down yet, so they don't have much of a post to push off of and get back to the bag. So you end up kind of trying to get the foot down quickly as a base runner. You kind of spin out. Next thing you know, you're not back in time, and it's a long jog back to the dugout.
Full count for Tommy White.
And that's exactly what Lawrence was just talking about right there.
Chopped slowly to short. Witt comes in, 1 gone, 2 gone. Now let's get a word from Tri-Counties Bank.
We've been providing big bank lending power and high-tech service throughout California for over 50 years. But we're still the locals down the street, no matter where your street may be. Tri-Counties Bank, California's local bank.
2 gone in the fourth, and it'll bring up Carlos Cortez. Well, you just look back to the beginning of the game, Dallas, when Henry Bolte was on base, and the Royals thought that they had him picked off initially. Get that lead runner on. Trying to eliminate the traffic. They couldn't do that in the first, and it built on Lugo.
Well, look, I think tonight he's done a fantastic job. Lugo has, not only defending his position, taking care of business himself, but also, you know, looking for outs in other spots other than home plate.
Got Carlos to line out in the first. And that ended the A's run. In the air to center, and that's where Kyle Isbell will meet the ball. Move to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Vinny Pasquantino to lead it off.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Red Hawk Resort and Casino, taking entertainment to a new level.
How many of those cards do you have, Dallas? Go put some bids in.
Some of those, I mean, there's a solid chance I got a few of those. There's a little Christmas insert. That's out of a blaster.
I don't see any planets, so I'm not sure you're into that collection right now. Well hit into right for Vinny Pasquantino. He'll open up the fourth with a single. And the first one that's left the infield for Kansas City. Well, it's time now for the Blue Moon bright spot as Salvador Perez is coming up. And you look at home run leaders in Royals history. Well, 319 homers for Perez. Happened this year to pass George Brett, the legendary Royal.
Legendary indeed. My teammate. Uh-oh.
Well, Pasquantino's going to go to second. It'll be a balk.
Well, and you can see the bottom of the spike of Jeffrey Springs kind of clotted up. See if you can see a little spin out here. Yeah, and I think what you see is that front foot kind of catch just a bit.
Pitch to Perez for a strike. Got back to it with the four-seamer. $50 pitches here for Springs. What's the reality in your mind on a guy coming back off the IL?
Well, probably
into the gap, left center. This will get down and to the wall. Salvador Perez with extra bases drives in the first run for the Royals, and it's now a 2-1 game.
Start with where the pitch is, Jenny. It's a changeup. Stays elevated, though, and Salvador Perez able to put a great swing on it. You can see him slam the bat down. I think just probably a season worth of frustration on display there from the captain.
We just talked about the home run leader for the Royals. He adds another RBI. And now 535 of those at Kauffman Stadium. And he has second most in this ballpark. A ways to catch the Hall of Famer George Brett on that one.
Yeah, I'd say.
Here's the 0-1 to Carter Jensen.
Check him.
Yep.
No need.
Went around. 0-2. Strike three. First strikeout of the game for Springs in his return.
Be able to battle back after a couple knocks to open up the frame here. 91 outer third. I think it's a matter of Jensen maybe sitting on something else. Instead, he got a fastball that froze him.
Tolbert takes a strike. Tolbert back up the middle, a one hopper for McNeil. His play will be at first. 2 gone. Salvador Perez at third. So Perez represents the tying run as Kyle Isbell comes up with 2 outs. Isbell in the air to right. Lawrence Butler moving back to the track, and the catch for Butler. Out number 3, the run came across off a Salvador Perez RBI double. On athletics.tv, you can watch NBC Sports California athletics games in home television territory with no blackouts. Take advantage of the price drop, now just $34.99 for the rest of the season. Couple of fans in the house for the green and gold. Repping it up here amongst all the blue. What's your favorite shade of Royals blue?
Come on.
Baby blue, sky blue.
Powder, if you will.
Yep. 2-0 to Jonah Hyman for a strike.
I mean, you know this.
You're a sucker.
I'm a sucker for any version of the powder blue, whether it's the Royals, which I thoroughly appreciate, the Cardinals. I do. I love them all. Here it is.
Yeah, it's a good looking jersey.
Yep.
How about the old school camcorder? What in the 1998's going on out there?
Really?
These kids, they're bringing it back, you know?
It's 4K.
It is 4K. I guess it's new. I'm not sure what he's doing is legal, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's documenting the, it's boys' trip.
Yeah. Oh, now he has the camera on you. Found that beard all the way up here.
Well, that's no fun.
Here's the 2-2. Jonah well ahead of it again in the camera well.
Well, we've seen just about everything.
8 of the 9 pitches featured. That slow curveball got Zach Geloff. Caught him looking. It was 68 miles an hour.
Well, tried it again.
Ground ball, weakly hit, and Pasquantino will flip it underhand to Lugo for the first out. That'll bring up Donovan Walton with 1 out, and now let's get a word from Jack in the Box.
Don't get FOMO. Get my Philly-style bonus Jack combos and new Philly Munchie Meal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
1 out, top of the 5th. Seth Lugo at 58 pitches. He's been pretty efficient the last couple of innings. On 4 hits and 2 runs so far to the A's. Walton begins ahead 1-0. I think something that you can appreciate, Dallas, about the pitching matchup that we're seeing here tonight is you got a couple of veterans. We've highlighted that Jeffrey Springs is making his 200th career appearance, and for a guy that was picked in the 30th round, pick 888. I mean, that is something you certainly appreciate, because that's not a guy that was really on anyone's radar, and he has made a major league career and then some out of it. But the man on the mound, even further down, round 34, that doesn't exist in the draft, and he was pick 1032 by the New York Mets in 2011.
Well, what you appreciate from both of them is the fact that they were able to turn their opportunity into one that they've been able to take advantage of, and now you create more opportunities. And that's, I think, the take-home message for young ball players sitting at home right now, maybe watching the game or thinking about where they're at in their career at a school that they maybe thought they wouldn't end up at, or maybe at a level that they didn't expect to be at.
It's going to be a base hit for Donovan Walton.
But I mentioned the fact that Seth Lugo throughout his career, Jenny, and now here in the later stage, has found a home in Kansas City and has performed very well. I highlighted that 2024 season in which he finished second in the American League Cy Young race. I mean, look at that. Look at that year. 16 wins, ERA right at 3.
Now picking on Donovan Walton, who's at first with 1 out. Max Muncy at the plate. Muncy lined out to Lugo, showed the fancy glove work. This time lines it to center field, base hit. Donovan Walton's gonna stop at second. Back-to-back hits for the bottom of the A's order.
And Jenny, there's a great shot of Max Muncy. I think you'll be able to see him identify spin, kind of wait back just enough, keep the hands back. Watch this. See that little hitch, just that minute pause, and you'll see it from the side as well. And that's him seeing spin. All right, foot down. Got it? Yep, there it is. I mean, just a fantastic job, because it's one thing to see the pitch. It's another to be able to, under control, keep your weight back and still keep yourself in a strong firing position.
0-1 count for Bolte.
You know, and what always impresses me about the guys who are able to do that with consistency is you're really trying to stay back and go forward at the same time, right? Trying to load up on the backside, get into that hip, and you're also trying to get that front foot down. And nobody's ever trying to get more narrow within their stance, especially at release. You've got that either toe tap and you start to move forward, or it's a leg kick, that front foot comes down and goes forward. You'll see, here comes Muntz, right? You got the tap and now the widening out, but you got to be able to stay back all at the same time.
3-1 on the ground and through on the left side. Bring home another run. Henry Bolte as the throw's coming in, and it will end up hitting Walton and going to the backstop where Lugo was backing up. 3-1.
Baby Hank. Pitch that just kind of spins right in the middle of the strike zone. Bolte pounds it through that hole on the left side. See, Jensen has a difficult time getting to the baseball as that throw comes all the way through. Walton headlong into home plate's got to come back around and tag it.
One 1-0 to Jeff McNeil. One scoring opportunity for Jeff against his former Mets teammate on the mound. Two spent a lot of time together, and today the first time facing each other. Jeff successful round 1, and a foul ball down the right field line.
You see Tolbert comes up throwing, that ball just immediately starts to sail and take off. Jensen can't knock it down. Well, we got a ball loose out in right field.
Caglione taking care of it, and it'll be back to business. A 1-1 count for Lugo against McNeil. Muncy at third, Bolte at second. Just one out here in the top of the 5th. After the timeout, in the batter's box, McNeil stepping in to address Lugo. Pitch served into right. Down, and after holding up, Muncy will come home for run number 4. How about McNeil?
I mean, the dude just continues to roll the pole right now. Whether it's a power stroke or an approach like this, and this is what makes you a professional hitter, folks, is when you have the ability to put a swing on a pitch like that. 80 mile an hour looks like it's a changeup. Starts to work its way down, well out of the zone, away from you. And that's really just a little hook job chip shot, Johnny, from Jeff. Out there to slow things down, have a little chit chat at Meeting on the Mound, brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Jeff McNeil, tell you the art of hitting on full display with the veteran.
Another multi-hit game. He's driven in 2 of the 4 runs to 92 hits on the season as Jeff. That'll bring up Zach Geloff and his great numbers against Lugo. Runners on the corners, and the first pitch in for a strike. Geloff 1 for 2, had the single that drove in a run in the first. Pops up and it's fouled back out of play. Well, that ended up going off of the level above us. Someone was probably pretty surprised below us, huh?
I'd say.
One-two to Geloff, ground ball, weakly hit to second. Coming in is Lofton, and he'll just tag the runner. Another run comes in. McNeil's out, and Geloff brings home the 5th run of the evening.
And it's a savvy heads-up play on the base path by Jeff McNeil. Realizes he's about to run into a tag. Instead, he hits the brakes, starts to retreat, ends up hitting the deck. Everything he did forced Lofton to have to adjust in real time. You got to reach down with the glove, Jenny. And why does that matter? Well, because now you got to bring the glove back up to get the ball into the hand so you can make the throw. And that's just more time taken for the run to be able to push across, and also for Geloff to get to first base safely. Just a great heads-up play by Jeff McNeil.
Foul ball that's foul from Lawrence Butler makes it 1-1. Lawrence having to re-strap up some of the accessories. Two and one. After that 20-pitch first, it was 8 pitches and 9 pitches in the second and third, just 12 in the fourth, and now sitting at 31 here in the 5th inning. A's strung together 4 straight hits. Have scored 3 runs. Butler taking the sweeper for a strike, 2-2.
Rather laborious.
Word of the day. Your favorite one. Full count for Butler. Lawrence had a single in the fourth, was picked off. Runner taken off on the pitch and through on the left side. Butler using what the defense gave him. First to third goes Geloff. And another single this inning from an A's hitter.
Well, I love it. At this point, after a knock, Lawrence Butler is using physical Morse code to communicate with the dugout. And it comes after he just slaps a single the other way. Geloff on the move.
Nine total hits in the ball game for the A's. It's most hits that Lugo's given up since the month of July. He gave up 9 in back-to-back outings.
Here you go.
There's what you're talking about.
Law dog, what do you got? Yep. Oh, okay. All right. Yep. Got it. We're excited. Okay.
It's too many things to remember.
That's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Pitch to Tommy White, lifted in the air, shallow right. Going for it's Lofton, a long run for the second baseman, but he makes the third out. 3 runs scored off of 5 hits this inning, and the A's up by 4.
The new era of baseball in Las Vegas is right around the corner. For only $19.01, you can secure your priority access to 2028 tickets at our future new ballpark. You'll get early access to new products such as our recently unveiled dugout clubs featuring ultra-close baseline seating and an elevated game day experience. Secure your spot today at athletics.com/Vegas.
1-0's the count for Nick Lofton, leading off at the bottom of the 5th. It's a great top half of the inning. The Athletics sent 8 up. They got 5 hits, 3 runs, and have a 5-1 lead for Jeffrey Springs in his return off the IL. Lofton with a walk in the game, and 0 for 1 as he takes the timeout. Been a lot of buzz around Kansas City with the future, not only of this team that they put on the field, but the future home that they're going to have. Ground ball to third, backhanded by Muncy, and the throw over to White. Good job on the connection and the first out. So the new stadium and new renderings came out yesterday. You see the Crown Center in downtown Kansas City. That's where they're planning on building Royals Park, along with Hallmark Cards' 85-acre development plan. And it looks really cool. You talk about fountains being obviously the center of Kansas City. It'll be right there in center field. There will not be a steady stream of fireworks, so don't worry. That's just a picture.
Well, I tell you, that's probably going to be a lot of fun to hit with, huh?
Yeah, just a fountain.
Just white splashing water in the background.
Sure. It's quite a batter's eye. We'll see how they do with the renderings and what, actually comes to fruition. But,
sure,
taking obviously a blueprint of Kauffman Stadium and being able to put it in that downtown square and keep the Royals right here in Missouri as the Chiefs are heading out and moving into the state of Kansas. So for a long time, they've been side by side. This is in foul territory. Tommy White all over it. And that'll be the second out. Gets Bobby Witt, and it'll bring up Jack Caglione.
A couple of new barns getting raised.
Yeah. 2030 is that target date.
I've always loved coming to Kansas City and being able to visit this ballpark. It's got beautiful, in my opinion, beautiful sight lines in regard to our vantage point, what we look out over. I mean, the fountains are a beautiful aesthetic. And I think I can understand when you take an aerial shot in, there's a lot of parking.
A lot of asphalt outside of both stadiums.
If you're into parking, plenty of places for you.
John Raves the pinch hitter, and he takes a strike, 0-2. So we'll see what's going on with Caglione here.
Well, hopefully it's nothing more than maybe just a sore rib cage. I don't know that was hard enough to knock Cags out of the ball game. I'm sure we'll get an update at some point in time.
He's been one of their most consistent offensive producers, I should say. And in case you're wondering about that hit by pitch,
well, and
here it was.
Yeah, my point, it's a changeup, right? And that's just a glancing blow. But there's nothing to say that in an attempt to try to get out of the way of the ball, you might have felt a little tweak or a twinge.
Ground ball to third, and Muncy will play the hop.
Ooh.
3 up, 3 down on a close play to end it here in the 5th.
Don't miss Chris Townsend's talk show. That's A's Cast Live. It's your go-to daily sports talk show hosted by, Chris Townsend. Streaming live 24 hours and before every weekday evening game on the A's YouTube channel at youtube.com/athletics and on A's Cast X at AthleticsCast24. That's Chris Townsend, the Wizard of Ozcast.
Don't forget about the cast part of A's Cast.
That's right.
Commander Cody and the gang.
They run a tight ship over there.
They certainly do. Carlos Cortez quickly down 0-2, and you see John Rave has remained in the game, taking over in right field for Jack Caglione. So again, no official word inside from the Royals. He was hit by a pitch in the third. Caglione played some defense, and then removed in the fifth.
As much as we've been talking about wanting to finish strong, that's probably one of the last things you want to see if you're that man right there, or Caglione himself. It's Cortez down on strikes here on a changeup to start the top of the sixth.
Third strikeout for Lugo.
That thing is nasty. It's almost like it just ricochets off something. Great arm speed from Seth Lugo as well. I think that's been a big key to his success over the course of his career, Jenny. He's done a fantastic job of obviously keeping guys off balance when you got to pick from 10 different pitches that you might see in any given at bat.
Next pitch is number 90. Misses inside to Jonah Heim, 1-0. Jonah's 0 for 2 today. 2 ground ball outs from the switch hitting catcher. Jonah's duties behind the plate have certainly increased in the absence of Shea Langoliers. A lot more work on the defensive side of things. Day game tomorrow for game 4 after the night game. Certainly Brian Serven will be in the lineup. He started game 1. Now Jonah's caught back-to-back games. But he's also DHing a little bit too, so getting the workload.
Yeah, I think that'll always, be part of the calculus when it comes to the backstops, figuring out a way to be able to rotate them through that DH spot.
2-2 in the air to center. Isbell will jog back and make the catch. 2 gone.
I think all things considered, if you're a guy like Jonah Heim coming into the season, not that you don't expect to play as much, but I think, the writing's on the wall. You know who's going to do the heavy lifting when you have a guy like Shea Langoliers in the lineup. So I think you're just trying to figure out ways to be productive when you are in the ball game, but baseball happens. Part of that is injuries. Unfortunately, Shea out with the knee, so Jonah Heim. And that's why you go and get, veteran experience too, right? So in the event of needing to plug someone in for the interim, you feel nice about what your options are.
To center again, this time to his left. Isbell goes, and he will make out number 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. A's up by 4 here this Wednesday night.
A's Baseball is brought to you by the official pest prevention, ridding your space of pests officially.
Back to action in Kansas City, bottom of the 6th, and squaring to bunt. Pulling back was Michael Garcia, looking for a way to get on and try and find some offense here. Kansas City trails by 4. Jeffrey Springs has found himself in a bit of a bind on the traffic front, but has only allowed 3 hits. 2 of those hits producing the lone run in the 4th inning. It was Pasquantino with a single, Salvador Perez driving him in with a double.
Well, Jeffrey Springs has had a pretty good ball game though thus far. Alex Lang starting to play a little catch. Him and his mock turtleneck down there in the bullpen for the Royals.
Yeah, Lugo's probably hit his max at 96 pitches. That'd be great to see Jeffrey Springs here in this ball game be able to get some length. Been an issue for starters at several different points of the season for the A's. But I think the #1 thing is you want to prove your health And so in order to do that, especially through the walks that he's issued.
And a great place, I think, to make the bounce back.
Fly ball out to right center field, and Lawrence Butler reaches up for the catch. Michael Garcia retired for the third time here this evening.
You know, you're in a place like Kauffman Stadium, a whole lot of real estate out there in that outfield, but you've got some guys that can go and get it. I mean, Henry Bolte has been very fun to watch grow in this center field position at the big league level. We know about what Zach Geloff has brought to the table athleticism-wise. As we watched him show up, this one fouled off on the third base side, out of play. But Zach Geloff, remember, showed up Roman center field.
Yeah.
And has moved all around the outfield. So I think when you come into a place like Kauffman Stadium, you know you've got some athletes out there in the outfield you can trust to go and get it. Knowing you're a fly ball pitcher, your confidence level in allowing the ball to be put in play probably pretty high.
This is the 5th appearance for Jeffrey in his career at Kauffman Stadium. 3rd time he started. He does have good numbers. Came in with a 3 ERA in this ballpark. Two and one's the count for Vinny Pasquantino. Make it 3-1. One of the 3 free passes that Springs issued was to Pasquantino. First time up, and then he had that single and ended up scoring when Perez drove him in. Tough 2 to get through here. 3-1, launched to right, and that ball is long gone. Home run for Pasquantino has made it a 5-2 ball game here in the 6th.
Barreled, no doubt. This ball is leaned on a bit here. Little slider. Starts on the front hip, just doesn't quite get far enough away from Pasquantino, who was able to open up and barrel it.
7th homer of the season for Pasquantino, and Perez follows it up with the hard hit, but lined out to left field where Zach Geloff is. Well, for Jeffrey, that was home run number 29 that he's allowed this season. And last year, it was a career high at 28. Now he passes that with the home run to Pasquantino. Second most homers allowed in the majors. And I think that's another one of those spots, Dallas. You know, again, you talk about having a sizable lead, a 4-run lead at that point. Solo home runs can't kill you. But I think for Jeffrey, that was another one of the questions he probably wanted to answer in coming back or over the course of the last 6 weeks of this season, is trying to keep the ball in the ballpark a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I alluded to, you know, coming back in a ballpark like this.
Yeah, certainly.
Where, look, there's not a yard in baseball that ball that Pasquantino just hit doesn't get out of.
Carter Jensen's had his fair share of homers this year, 16 of them. Moving into that everyday catching role. Here's the 0-2. Just a bit high. And you're starting to see the bullpen warming for the Athletics. Scott blew it up first.
Avi, you there? Yes, I am.
I mean, is that telephone ring going to be a nostalgic sound as we move to the future? Everyone's phones are on vibrate. It's not like you have a house phone anymore. You're not hearing that too often.
Well, and when I tell you, when the iPhone first came out, Alan Embry, old teammate of mine, I had the old telephone ring as my ringtone.
Oh, yeah.
And I was forced to quickly change that.
Well hit into center. It'll get down for a base hit as Carter Jensen extends the inning on Jeffrey Springs.
Well, this is a fastball that stays in the middle of the plate. Mark Kotze on a hop out to talk to his veteran left-hander. And I think this is probably just a checkup. Hey, how you feeling? Everything good? He said it's the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price that this mound meeting is brought to you by, Jeffrey, and I just want to know if you feel like you can go get this final out. I'd love to get you through 6 here healthy and feeling good. What do you think? And if I know Jeffrey Springs, he's probably lobbying for himself. Say, yeah, I've got this right now, but you know what? If you feel like we've got a better option down there, by all means, let's go win ourselves a ball game. That's what Mark Kotze does. It'll be Scott Blewett on now after 5 2/3 for the left-hander Jeffrey Springs.
I think you saw some hard contact there at the end, so in comes Blewett, and we'll take a quick break here in the bottom of the 6th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
Well, 5 2/3 is all she wrote for Jeffrey Springs in his return to the mound. All in all, a really nice outing, but with one on, deciding to go to the bullpen as it's now a 5-2 game. There's the line, Dallas. 5 2/3, 5 hits, the 2 runs, did have 3 walks. But again, pitching through traffic, I think he checked a lot of boxes of getting through that first outing back.
Yeah, and I think that's what the important part is, right? You come out of this outing probably feeling good about not only how things went from a production standpoint, but the fact that you were able to make it through the outing. And you'll check back in tomorrow, and I think that'll be a big indicator of just how well tonight went.
So on is Scott Blewett, and he'll throw a first pitch strike to Tyler Tolbert. It was the home run from Vinny Pasquantino that got Kansas City to their 2nd run of the ball game. Outside, Heim able to keep it close by. Well, we got word from inside of the Kansas City clubhouse that Jack Caglione left the game in the 5th inning due to right ankle soreness.
Yeah, we were trying to think back if there was anything that may have indicated he was moving around a little gingerly.
To center field, then down for a base hit. Stopping at 2nd will be Jensen. So now Blewett will have to bear down against the 9-hole hitter with 2 on.
Yeah, two-seamer starting to run its way in on Tolbert, but Tolbert just able to beat that fastball to a spot in there. Now the Royals with 2 outs trying to get a little something going here.
Kyle Isbell, the man at the plate, 0 for 2 here tonight. Swings to the first pitch and misses. Blewett appeared in game 1, 2 innings for him against this Royals team. He did allow an earned run off 3 hits. He also had 3 strikeouts. Oh, and 2. Fifth career appearance for Blewett against the Royals. Before that run he allowed Monday night, he had not allowed one in the first 3 appearances versus Kansas City. Now looking to keep it a 3-run A's lead. Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Gets him at 96 up top. And Blewett coming up with a big strikeout to leave two stranded. It's a 5-2 ball game as we go to the 7th.
Calling all hunters. You can join us Wednesday, August 28th. We're going to take on the Twins. It's going to be an epic on-moon celebration and a legendary takedown on the field. Be one of the first through the gates to secure an exclusive A's and K-Pop Demon Hunters co-branded jersey giveaway. You can bring that Golden Idol energy right into the stands with you. Get your tickets right now at athletics.com/tickets.
More of a Rumi or a Mira or a Zoe kind of gal.
Oh.
Or guy.
Not a. Didn't we talk about Sody Pop?
Well, that's, a song.
A song.
I'm talking about the girl
the actual,
group, the hunters, if you will.
Huntresses.
Alex Lang is not a hunter or a Saja boy, but he's on the mound right now against the Athletics. Seth Lugo's night done. 6 innings for him, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, and the 3 strikeouts. Kind of a mixed bag tonight, Dallas.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, didn't walk anybody, a few punch outs to his name. Couple runs pushed across early against Lugo.
Muncy down on strikes, so bullpen starts off with an out, and it'll bring up Henry Bolte.
Well, time now for our powerful performance brought to you by Xfinity. Old Hank at the top of the lineup been going to work. Jeff McNeil has followed suit, but these two tonight really provided a whole lot of this offense. Both of those guys combined 4 for 6, 3 runs driven in, 3 runs scored.
Fair to say that Jeff McNeil's celebration a little less elaborate than Lawrence Butler's?
Yeah, fair to say. Jeff may be still learning Morse code.
Swing and a miss for Bolte, 1-1. But the production for the top 2 hitters tonight certainly highlighted, as you mentioned, all the great hits and runs they've scored. But you look at this series over the 3 games, they have scored 7 of the 13 runs that the Athletics have produced. Elvis Alvarado starting to warm. Came in and took the loss in last night's game when Bobby Witt Jr. walked off the Athletics. I should say he was on the mound when that losing hit came across. Hogan Harris ended up with the loss, and you look at the night Hogan had a lot of pitches. You figure in a game like this, as close as it is, not sure that we would see Hogan be available tonight. Time will tell. Top of the 7th, up by 3. And a swing and a miss. Sinker gets Bolte back-to-back strikeouts to open up the evening for Lang.
Yeah, Lang coming in and letting it fly right now. It's really almost middle here. 95 in the heart of the plate, but a little life to it at the finish. Bolte not able to get any wood on it.
Here's Jeff McNeil for the 4th time. 2 for 3. Added 2 RBI, and of course swinging at the first pitch. Well, that happens 57.6% of the time since All-Star break.
Yeah, that's 3rd highest rate in baseball right now.
And McNeil with the ground ball, chopped to second. Lofton over to first. 3 up, 3 down for Lang. We'll stretch here in Kansas City. The Athletics up 5-2.
Welcome back. Time now for your play of the day, presented by your California Ford dealers. Give me the lefty. Jeffrey Springs, a little spring in his step, looking to put a little spring back in the step of the Athletics with his outing. 5 2/3, 5 hits scattered about. Just a couple of earned runs pushed across. Still a little command issues there with the 3 walks. Got himself a punch out as well, but 85 pitches, Jenny, and you come out of the outing as of right now feeling pretty good about things. Not only one were you able to produce, give your team a chance to win the ball game, you're in line to walk away with the W, but you also feel like you're probably rebounding physically, and that's going to be the key. I think tomorrow is how you feel when you wake up. You know, you often get asked during the season, how you doing? And what do we say? Well, I'll talk to you after the ball game, tell you exactly how I'm doing. And tomorrow will be the answer for Jeffrey Springs. It'll be Elvis Alvarado's turn now, his 40th appearance this season.
Begins 2-0 against Collins. Isaac Collins, the pinch hitter for Nick Lofton. And a strike. Foul ball 2-2. Lefty's just 197 against Alvarado this season. And to center field, Bolte and Geloff both going for it, and it's more on the left side of center. Geloff makes the catch. Collins retired. One gone, and Bobby Witt Jr. steps up. Shortstop's 0 for 3. First pitch bouncing in, 1-0. Talked to Jack Caglione before the game a bit today, and you know, he's just talking about the luxury of getting to hit behind a guy like Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
And again, it just comes down to health. I mean, the Athletics, we don't have to continue to break the record over it, but injuries, when they start to pile up among your superstars, it changes the dynamics of your team. And that's kind of the place Kansas City found themselves in when Bobby Witt was out of the lineup for a bit. They get him back, so Cogs is feeling good about that, but they were still missing Garcia and Pasquantino for some time. Now you get all those guys back, and tonight Caglione leaves the game.
Well, and, you know, it's the effect of not only, I think, for Bobby Witt Jr., you're hitting in front of a guy in Caglione who's swung the bat the way he has. You're going to get some pitches to hit. He's been great since August, or in the month of August, excuse me. And for Caglione on the other end of that.
Back to the pitcher, and Elvis able to corral the ball, and he'll toss it over to Tommy White. 2 on.
Athlete. But for Caglione, when you've got Bobby Witt Jr. standing on first base, they don't want to add any more traffic to it. Should he be on second base, you like your chances now of being able to drive a run in. And I think, you know, more often not.
Reeves swings at the first pitch. High in the air to center. And waiting for it to come down will be Henry Bolte. 10 pitches for Elvis Alvarado. 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. Built for the big moment by your Sacramento area Chevrolet dealers. We go back to April 24th, 2007, when Dallas Braden makes his major league debut and gets the win. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, 6 strikeouts, and he was facing Jeremy Guthrie, who got the loss for the Baltimore Orioles. And there's Jeremy Guthrie next door as the Royals broadcaster calling the game for their TV. That is crazy. You brought that up the other day, and you're like, wow, the fact that the two of you are here as broadcasters all this time later in life, but that is who you squared off against for your very first major league game. Yeah,
I know. And you know, it's something, honestly, that we had not, I don't think we ever really even talked about it or thought about it, but, you know, I've gotten to know Guts a lot more over the years, just being at the ballpark. You mentioned it at the beginning of the series, you know, both shoe guys, both baseball card collectors, and I've spent some time with him away from the ballpark at some different events for card collecting. And I mean, one of the better humans, Craig Kimberlain, now for the Royals. So he spent some time around the league, Mets, Tampa Bay, now with the Royals. But just as far as human beings go, I mean, to heck with the fact that he pitched 13+ seasons in the big leagues, right? I mean, just a dynamite guy on the mound.
Lifted out to center, and that's where Isbell will continue to jog for it. A little more shallow than he initially thought. One gone. As Zach Geloff's retired, and you see Collins in the game now in left field with Tolbert sliding in and taking over at second base.
Jeremy does, not only does he do a great job on the broadcast, but a phenomenal job with Major League Baseball, just in terms of growing the game in different ways. And I think if you ever have the opportunity to be within his orbit, become a friend of Jeremy, you just understand what a charitable soul he is.
No 1-2 for Butler now against Kimbrel. This is the third appearance for Kimbrel with the Kansas City Royals. Talked about him bebopping around to a couple different teams. Well, that's really been the last several years for him. But the love of the game and the feeling that you still have something to contribute and give, Kimbrel has continued to play all these years later after debuting in 2010 for Atlanta.
Well, I think what's also impressive is just the discipline. You know, Craig Kimbrel's still in great shape. Was joking with him on the way into the ballpark today. We saw him roll up on a bike, and I'm not talking, you know, a beach cruiser. I'm talking decked out, like clearly getting some pedals in. Not just a A to B type situation.
I mean, you're 5th on the all-time saves list.
Right. That's incredible. Incredible work from Craig Kimbrel.
And he gets Lawrence Butler. A guy that grew up in Atlanta, probably rooting for Kimbrel at one time. Now the strikeout victim, 2 gone.
You know, and for a long time there, Craig Kimbrel, his name alongside Kenley Jansen, and talking about potential Hall of Fame trajectory.
Last save recorded with Baltimore in 2024.
We just saw Craig kind of motion with his hand there. Don't know that he liked the pitch he originally got. Saw him just kind of roll the hand like, hey, next one up.
Tommy White, liner out to center, and Isbell will make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Craig Kimbrel for the bottom of the 8th. This game summary is brought to you by Toyota. Well, welcome back. Jeffrey Springs off the IL, went 5 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. His offense was helping him out early with those 2 runs in the first. They added 3 more in the 5th, and Jeff McNeil has his fingerprints all over this one. 2 for 4, a single and a double. He's driven in 2 and scored a run. A's up by 3. 5-2 is the score. Michael Garcia swings at the first pitch. Lawrence Butler won't be able to get there, and now it's by the right fielder. Coming over is Bolte. Michael Garcia turns on the burners and off to third. He leads off the 8th with a triple.
Well, this ball starting to slice and drop quickly. We'll see if that's a triple or if they're going to give that a air. Lawrence Butler just ends up whiffing on this ball here. It'll go single E9.
So another error for the Athletics. That's now 12 straight games where they've recorded an error. Inside to Vinny Pasquantino as Hayden Yinger will get some boos from the Kansas City crowd.
Look out. Vinny P straightened up.
A walk, a single, and a home run so far for Vinny in the game. 2-0 count.
Well, Jenny, that's a mark that I've been closely paying attention to. 61st error on the season. As of right now, the fewest in A's history. And that number is 72. Set back in 2021. So there's still quite a bit of baseball left in regards to how things have gone here recently, defensively.
Yeah.
If you want to set a new high water mark.
And of course, we know about the airless streak that Jacob Wilson's been on. He hasn't played in the last couple of games.
Well, no chance to boot this one, as Vinny P stepped on it. I'm squatching here.
A 2-2 count. You see Drew Rom, the left-hander. One of the newer relievers for the Athletics, starting to get warmed up. Garcia at third and nobody out. Here's the pitch. It's fouled.
We'll see if Ynier can take care of Pasquantino and Perez. You'd love to be able to keep Markel Garcia over at third base.
3-2.
But Drew Rom will be ready for Jensen.
Pretty big lead for Garcia over at third. Drilled out to right over the head of Butler, and he's gonna have to play it off the wall. Garcia will jog home. It is a 5-3 game, and Vinny Pasquantino picking up his second RBI.
Well, one of the longer singles Vinny P's ever going to hit. Fastball starting to climb the ladder, and he just misses a long ball by about 6 inches or so. Man, maybe even less.
Close to 109 off the bat. That brings up Salvador Perez, an RBI double for him. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
And for those lip readers at home, you could tell Vinny not terribly excited about not being able to squeak that ball over the wall.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Pasquantino was just reinstated Monday against these A's, and he's done damage in all 3 games. Big hole on the right side. Salvador takes the close pitch, 1-2. And there it is, made a dent. 109 off the bat will do that. A 2-2 count for the designated hitter.
Like Sal trying to do a little damage.
He's driven in 10 runs now in the last 15 games for Kansas City. Overall numbers of the season down for the veteran, but producing in August. And the 2-2. It's going to be a full count.
Well, this is your double play candidate, your double play combo, if there was one in this lineup right now.
And the payoff in the air and fell back.
Eighth pitch on its way. He's trying to get Salvador Perez to roll something over here.
And the pitch misses outside. Perez will walk first and second. You saw Salvador staring in the dugout, trying to get his team hyped up. Mark Kotze is going to have to go to the bullpen ahead of the left-handed hitter Carter Jensen. Nobody out, and the tying run on base here in the bottom of the 8th.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Time for the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Service Champions. The weekend will have the Astros in Houston for the Athletics to round out the road trip and back to West Sacramento. Twins coming to town, an off day on Thursday, and then it'll be the Baltimore Orioles. Twins have been playing a hot brand of baseball, won again against Atlanta today, so they continue to climb the mark in that American League wild card standings. 2 on here, nobody on the threat of the Royals. Feels a lot like yesterday in the late innings. Kansas City mounted a comeback in the 9th and walked off the A's. They're looking to win 4 in a row, but the Athletics looking to keep their lead that they started the ball game off with and get Jeffrey Springs his first win since April 14th. Drew Rahm on now, and he'll have Carter Jensen. He's going left on left.
Well, Drew Rahm in his 5th appearance for the A's over his first 4, 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. That run was earned, 4 strikeouts.
He had a third of an inning against Kansas City yesterday.
Well, if you're looking for the positives, opponent's just 1 for 14 with runners on.
He's needing out. Here's the 1-0 to Jensen. Well struck center field. Bolte going back, and he'll make the catch. Pasquantino moving up to third. Productive out for Jensen. You have first and third. And the right-handed hitter Tyler Tolbert up against Rahm. Tolbert had the killer at bat yesterday. Results could have been different. They weren't on a check swing, and he ended up driving in the tying run of the ball game. Two and 0. If you can push that button on the pitch comm, ground ball double play would be a good one to punch here.
I'm with you.
Instead, it's another pitch outside, and it's 3-0. Pasquantino at third, and Salvador Perez at first. Gets the called strike.
Tolbert still well ahead. Remember, he's hitting .278 against left-handers, Jenny.
And the pitch high, and it'll be a walk to load him up. Well, we've seen this story one too many times. in the late innings here in Kansas City alone. Kyle Isbell up to bat with 1 out and 3 on.
Well, the good news is Kyle Isbell has struggled mightily against left-handed pitching. Just 7 for 49, 11 punch-outs.
Swings at the first pitch, ground ball and through. In comes Pasquantino. Salvador Perez will get a stop sign at third. Bases remain loaded. It's a 1-run game.
Well, I tell you, I was wondering if they were at any point in time thinking about lifting Salvador Perez.
At this point, you only have 2 left on the bench.
And I'm not sure how much that would have mattered. But Isbell able to stay calm, find a hole on that left side. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. And right now, the job of Collins is try to get this baseball, if it's not going to land safely somewhere or find a hole on the ground deep enough in the outfield for Perez to be able to tag up and come home.
It's the newest day, and Taylor Rashi warming up now. Came up yesterday as the A's optioned Mason Barnett down. Career with bases loaded for Isaac Collins, 217, 0 for 9 so far this season, and fouls back the first pitch. Here's the 0-1. Evens up the count. Collins came in for Lofton. Two and one.
Well, trying to flip that script there. 7 balls to just 4 strikes here.
Another ball. 3-1 the count. Much like last night, crowd into it here at Kauffman as they can smell some offense coming. Rom trying to stop it. Just 1 out and bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Isaac Collins to center field. It's deep, and it should get the tying run home. The catch from Bolte, Perez tagging, and it is a 5-5 game. A sacrifice fly for Isaac Collins. And things have reset here in the 8th.
Well, and that's just getting a job done by the Kansas City Royals. You got to take advantage of the opportunities you're given, and that's why you just can't give up 90 feet for free in the big leagues. They're not even going to mess around with Bobby Witt Jr. If they're going to go out, it's going to be against a left-hander here with their left-on-left matchup with Rave, who, if you remember, was lifted for Caglione, or Caglione was lifted for Rave, excuse me.
Yeah, right ankle soreness for Caglione, who came out of the game in the 5th inning. So there's been 2 at-bats for Rave, 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, and Rave, Jenny, 2 for 14 against left-handers with a couple of punch-outs. It was Caglione who swinging it very well against lefties.
One and one's the count. Speed at third and Tolbert. Kyle Isbell at second and Bobby Witt at first. Rom delivers the pitch inside to Rave.
Well, behind in the count now, you got to make pitches. And the one thing that you got to be cognizant of is if you think you're going to get back to even and try to bury one, you're going to need Jonah Heim back there to body up.
Base hit, and Kansas City has taken the lead. Tolbert in, followed behind him is Isbell, clearing the bases. 3-run score off a single from John Rave, who didn't start the game, and right now posed to be the hero as Kansas City's up 8-5.
'91, top shelf. Ray picks it out, says, yep, I'll take that one. Think he's excited about it. As I mentioned, came in struggling against left-handed pitching. Not something he sees a ton of. But clears the bases and gives the Royals another late game boost. I mean, just a complete and utter implosion. Wow.
Back-to-back nights of watching a late inning lead disappear. And on a night where Jeffrey Springs gave it all he got in his return, that's going to get through as well. Michael Garcia will add another run. Home comes Rave. It's 9-5.
And it's a professional at bat that cleans it all up. Remember, it was Michael Garcia who started this off with a single that would slip past Lawrence Butler. He would get all the way to third, come around and score, and has now capped off this late inning rally with another knock for the Royals. This time a run driven in for Garcia here in an 8th inning that has now sent 10 Royals batters to the plate.
Pasquantino for the second time this inning. Took a pitch outside 1-0. Well, this is how the Royals have won when they have this year. More than half their wins have been in comeback fashion. Just top 4 in baseball. You see the White Sox, the Rays, and the Yankees all in postseason position spots. Obviously, the Royals are not with their 53 wins on the season.
Vinny Pasquantino, Jenny, the 11th Royal at the plate.
Takes a strike, 2-1. Saw Hayden Yinger the first time this inning, and now facing Drew Ron the second time he's up. 5th plate appearance he's reached every single time. 3 for 3 with a walk. Three of the 7 runs this inning belong to Yinger, as it's going to be an ABS challenge.
Pitcher stole the ball. Catcher's challenge.
This ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch a strike. The Athletics have 2 challenges remaining.
Jonah Heim's correct ABS makes it a full count for Pasquantino with 2 outs. Garcia will take off on the pitch, and here it is. Fouled. An action for Kansas City now. Steven Cruz will look to have the 9th. Driven to right, Lawrence Butler will catch the line drive, and that is the final out. 11 came up and 7 scored. Kansas City up by 4 after 8.
Gear up on Saturday, August 29th as the A's take on the Orioles. You can arrive early to score an exclusive Sacramento Puffer Vest giveaway and represent the capital city in style for the remainder of this season. Upgrade your fan fit and be there for an unforgettable night at the ballpark. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/promotions.
Call strike to Carlos Cortez. Kansas City up 9-5. Steven Cruz has the 9th inning here. It was a 7-run 8th inning for the Royals. Athletics watched their lead disappear. They were up 5-2 going into that 8th. And the Athletics have now given up 106 runs this season in the 8th inning. Today is game 127. Popped up on the left side. Garcia will head towards the line and make the first out. Not a mathematician, Dallas, but it's a lot of runs.
Well, I think it could probably be better than that, for sure. Right? Right?
Well, 7 today. Yesterday, they did not allow a run in the 8th. They did allow 3 in the 9th, though. Walk-off win yesterday, and the Athletics staring down their 3rd consecutive loss here on the road. Royals looking for their win streak to continue to 4 games.
Yeah, and I mean, when you just goes without saying, Jenny, we've had 127 ball games, right? That means there's been 127
eighth innings. Yeah.
8th innings.
Yep.
106 runs.
In the air to left and foul.
That's good for a 6.94 ERA in the 8th inning. It is tough to win ball games when that happens at the end of a ball game.
And again, I think the disappointment tonight is you get a nice start from a returning starter who hasn't won a ball game since the month of April. A's have had just way too many games over the last month where they have watched the lead disappear. 2-2 is the count for Jonah Heim here with 1 out in the 9th. Jacob Wilson didn't play for the 3rd consecutive game. Only you can count it as 4 after he left with a hit by pitch on Sunday. It'll be a catch for Bobby Witt in the outfield, 2 gone. So we'll see if Jacob's any better tomorrow to play in the 4th and final game against Kansas City, out with that shoulder soreness. I'm trying to just buy some time with him and avoid the injured list. Donovan Walton swings at the first pitch. He lines it out to right, and a base hit with 2 outs. So the A's will get a runner on here in the 9th inning. Ten hits for the Athletics tonight for their 5 runs. Max Muncy has one of the hits. He's also scored a run tonight, 1 for 3. It'll be defensive indifference as Walton moves into scoring position. ABS challenge from
Catcher's challenge.
Carter Jensen. It's ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it is low.
Kansas City has 1 challenge remaining.
2.3 inches low. 1-1's the count. Well, tough news gets tougher. Tomorrow on the mound, the Athletics will have to face Randy Dobnik. ERA sitting at 173. In the air to center, going back is Isbell. This is struck a long way, and Max Muncy's not going to go without a fight. 2-run homer for Muncy. It's a 9-7 game.
Do it, Munch. 97 out of third. Little backside boogie for Max Muncy. Just right of center. Just snuck it out of the ballpark for that 405 mark.
Jensen out to chat things up with Cruz ahead of Henry Bolte with 2 outs. So A's get 2 back, make it a 2-run game. Bolte's been on twice, 2 for 4. And you highlighted the top of the order a bit earlier in the ball game and how successful the combo of Bolte and McNeil have been tonight. See if they can keep a rally going. One and one the count for Bolte. Bolte ground ball, chopped to third, ends Garcia, and that is the final out of the game. Kansas City with another comeback win against the Athletics for the 3rd straight night. They improved their win streak to 4 games after a 7-run 8th inning. More disappointment for the Athletics, who will have one final opportunity tomorrow in a day game to salvage the series.
Yeah, A's going to need to call a locksmith, because right now just an inability to lock it down has been the problem. Athletics got a really good bounce back outing from Jeffrey Springs, 5 2/3 of 2-run baseball from the veteran left-hander. And things were going good, Jenny, up until, well, they weren't going good. A disastrous 8th inning that has now seen, as we highlighted, the Athletics surrender 106 runs in the 8th inning this season. Very, very tough way to win baseball games.
Craig Kimbrell picks up the win in this game. That is his first victory of record since 2024. Drew Rahm on the losing side. Here's the probables for tomorrow. We mentioned Randy Dobnik and his ERA under 2. He'll go up against Gage Jump, the young lefty for the Athletics. Well, the season series belongs to the Royals with their win tonight, but the Athletics still a chance to take the final meeting between these two coming up tomorrow. A's Cast on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota, starts now.